What's up, boys? We had our first tournament. It was the Arlington Open. It was open section. There were about 25 people in the section altogether. The lowest being, I think, 1540, something like that. The highest being like 2100. We had a pretty good tournament. The whole goal was just not lose every single match, which obviously I did pretty well. But I knew I had a good understanding of my strengths and weaknesses playing chess going into the tournament. Obviously, I play some boring openings that are more positional, not very good at tactics, not the best at end games. But my goal was just to not lose every single game. So I get there. I think I said 25 people in the section altogether, and my first pairing was against I think like a 1900 off the bat. Um, I get there a few minutes early, and then the tournament director says he has to redo the pairings because I don't know what happened, but he had to redo them. So I ended up playing against I think his rating was like 1580, something like that, round one, which I thought was pretty decent. I had the black pieces in my first game. I was a bit nervous. I didn't really go over any lines as black the night before. I was kind of sticking to my Catalan lines, just trying to get that down. Um, but yeah, so I saw it was against Arjun. I figured I'd sit down at the board and it'd be some, I don't know, 10-year-old Indian kid that's just going to blow me off the board. Instead, it was an 8-year-old, so that's good, obviously. Um, so the way it works is they just post like a paper on a wall and it has all the pairings. You just go up to the paper, look, it tells you what board, who you're playing against, and yeah. So I go down, sit at my board, and then Arjun, this 8-year-old Indian kid, sits down across from me. Um, we have I can show it to you. So this is what it looks like, the piece of paper where you record all your moves and everything like that. Um, he sat down at the board and he already had E4 penciled in. So he was an E4 player through and through. Um, my repertoire is Carl Khan into that. That's about it. So that's what we decided to play. The format was 45 minutes each with I think 10-second increment. I don't really know. The way they did increment was a little weird. It was so instead of like you make a move and you get 10 seconds added onto the clock, it was just a delay. So there's a little bit of delay after your turn starts to make a move before the timer starts going. But we'll go ahead and jump into the game. So of course the first move was E4. We get into a Caracan. He picks the advance, which I was excited for because this is literally the only Caracan line that I actually enjoy. So I play Bishop F5. That's what I always play. This is considered the main line. He goes Knight F3. This is all just theory. So back here, the two main lines really are here and then here. Obviously, he could play this as well, just forcing a trade, but he decides to go here. I attack in the center immediately, and then he goes for this bishop trade. This is almost always going to happen in this Caracan unless he puts it here defending against that pin. So you always trade here, and then knight, just trying to put more pressure on this. He goes ahead and castles, and then I take. Um, the plan is to put this knight either here or here. The reason you don't, or the reason I don't try to go here immediately is because he takes this and it kind of blocks your bishop from taking it. He gets a lot of early. He gets the pawn and just tries to hold on to it, and it's kind of a pain trying to win it back. So I just like to clarify early. He goes here, stopping anything like this, trying to hit his queen. I wasn't really too worried about going here and hitting his queen because he just moves out of the way and it's a waste of a move. I want to be hitting this pawn anyway, so I go ahead and do that. And he goes here. This is a good trade for me. Just taking and then pretty much whatever he takes back with it's going to be equal no matter what. As you can see, the eval says zeros across the board. So we just keep going. I add a bit more pressure. It's also hitting this because the bishop took its eyes off of it. He goes ahead and, funnily enough, I can't even really take this. If he goes something like this, if I go here, he can either go here or he could go here and my queen's just trapped. So I can't really take that pawn even if he doesn't defend it, but he goes ahead he pushes it anyway. And then I go ahead and go a6. He has this spot right here. I really didn't want him to push here and get rid of my knight that's hitting this pawn. So I just try to play a defensive move real quick, and he plays here. Um, so when he played that move, really, the only real thing I saw was this move. Trying to hit my queen to take it off of this, and and then after I moved to say here or here, wherever I wanted to move, if I wanted to keep my eyes on this, I thought he was just gonna go here, and it'd be really annoying if I had to trade off the bishop. That was really all I was worried about. And then I felt like he got a lot of real fast development, so I was just worried about getting castled as soon as possible. So yeah, I play this, and this is a blunder out of the opening, turn 13. So what I needed to do was either play rook here, queen back, or it says I could play g6 here. Trying to fianchetto here isn't really the main idea of g6. It's to defend this knight, because as you'll see, I play bishop here, and then he immediately, not immediately, he thinks for like 5 minutes, but he finds the best move, which is to take, and it looks like it's just a sacrifice, but if I take back, he takes this, and that was the whole idea of g6, is to protect that knight. It's already +2 on turn 15 here. I thought he's hitting this and my queen, which is just awful. So I think the best play is just to go back. I don't want to give up this, because then I have an isolated pawn. His queen, just all of his pieces are on this side. I can't really castle there. So I figured moving the queen back just to defend the bishop is the best play. He just goes back, and now what I'm seeing is I don't want him to push this, because he has everything here. I have pretty much nothing stopping this. So I go ahead and take the bishop, which is obviously a wrong move again. It's just this game is pretty much just one mistake after another. So I go here. This stops the push, I thought, because I could just take here, and then if he takes here, I take, and I mean, he gets a lot. Everything's open. I'm still losing, but I just figured that was the best way to try and stop this d5 idea. And he goes here, putting a little bit of pressure here. I don't really know what else that kind of does. He has this idea, but you know, I was worried about this, so I played h6. Computer agrees that that was the best move, actually. Tries to pin here. I go here because he pins me, so I can't move the knight, and I thought the idea was here, here, here. So I extra defend this. It says, computer says this is the second best move. Rook here is the best move, but he goes here, adding more pressure on that. I feel I'm fine, so I just castle. He moves knight back. I didn't really know what the whole idea of that was. So I tried to just break, I have more defenses on this knight first. I get the break later, but then he goes here, and this is the same tactic that he hit me with. I have here. I just missed it. I don't know what. I think I was just so tilted from losing that pawn in the early game that I just missed the idea. So the idea is takes. If he takes here, I have this, and he's losing his knight, or he's not losing his knight and he loses queen. But yeah, and then if he takes with the knight, obviously I take the queen again. So I had a chance to equalize the game around turn 20. I didn't see it. Same tactic that he hit me with. Obviously, tactics aren't my strongest suit in chess, but I just try and go for a break. My idea was he was trying to go here, and so I was just trying to break up the center. He goes here. I was really just only looking at takes, but I forgot he had this. He gets that anyway. The whole point of this break was so that he wouldn't get this, and he ended up getting it anyway. Um, I go here because he's now threatening to take this, and if I take that, he just takes, and he's just winning. Yeah. I go ahead and defend this pawn, and then he goes for this trade, and here I resign. I mean, it's +6. I'm down like 3 pawns. It was just a disaster pretty much from the opening. I don't know what to say. I didn't see the tactic. He just played better than me. I figured it was gonna be a rough start to the tournament just because I didn't really know how over the board chess was, and then this 8-year-old 1500 just outplayed me pretty much every step of the way. But yeah, that was how round 1 went for me. After this round, I just went to the hallway in between the matches. So the matches are actually held in like this cafeteria area. There's like 30 setups in there. There's 12 for the open section, and then I think like 20 or something for the novice section, which is I think 1500 to like around 1000, and then they have another room out in the back for beginners, which is anything below 1000. Yeah, coming into the tournament, like trying to park in the tournament, it was I got pretty nervous that I was like in the wrong area because I was trying to park and all I saw were like 8-year-old kids, and that's it. I didn't know if it was like a special, like a scholastic tournament with just kids that I accidentally signed up for or something, but no, it was just kids. And then it's funny. I think the either the novice section or the beginner section was literally just all of their parents. Because there's quite a few parents actually partaking in the chess matches, and then I think there was like I think the oldest dude was the highest rated, which was like 2100, and he was like 30 or 40 or something like that. Other than that, I think I was like one of the oldest. There were like there's maybe like one other adult other than me and that one guy that was the highest rated. But yeah, that's how the first match went. Well, so I went to the hall and I just analyzed the game, and I knew during the game, I knew like basically my whole position just crumbled once I lost that pawn in the beginning. And so I just tried to forget it. It was one mistake. One mistake messed me up, and then he gave drawing chances back, and I just couldn't see it. So I just focused on the next game. I figured I would have white the next game because that's kind of how I figured tournaments would go. You black and then white. So yeah, I just tried to get ready for the next game, and that was my first round.